Hey guys, welcome to Full Burn. My name is Trevor Smith, where we kick some tires, light some fires, and interview awesome space and defense founders across the industry. Today, I am with Negar Feher of Orbital Outpost X. Where are we, Negar?
We are at SmallSat in Salt Lake City. It's the first time they've hosted it here. It's typically hosted in Logan at the university, and this is the first time it's here at the Salt Palace.
The salt, and it looks like a salt shaker. Actually, I'll pause right here. It's a salt shaker. It's right there.
Oh my God, you're totally right.
No, it's called the salt shaker, I think unofficially. It's like you're trying to meet somebody, look for the salt shaker. And it's like, oh, that's obviously the salt shaker.
But yeah, to be honest with you, I still kind of miss I don't know if you ever went to this conference when it was held at Logan.
Yeah, like 3 years.
It was, it had this like university charm to it. I used to like stay in the dorms. I felt like I was a student again.
Wait, you enjoyed staying? I stayed in the dorms. It was not enjoyable.
Well, it was kind of this like nostalgia feeling. Yeah. And okay, there were times when it was gross. One time I found bugs in my sheets, and and I heard about a lot of other people getting bed bugs, so that wasn't so cool. But it was really fun to like, when you get a meeting room, it was like a classroom, so you felt like you were a professor or a student again. So,
and the expo hall is in the gymnasium.
Yeah.
So you're in the gym.
Everything was just like, it was like a throwback, and it was kind of fun once a year to like feel like you were in college again.
I don't know what they did with the basketball goals, but they weren't in there during the expo.
Yeah, so this space is okay. It's nice. It shows progress.
Super convenient.
It's very convenient. You can just fly into Salt Lake City, which is really nice. It's a super fast flight. You don't have to drive 2 hours to Logan.
Yeah.
There's a lot more hotels and accommodation. And I think, personally, it shows huge progress for our industry.
Well, I would say the service, like food, water, coffee, all that stuff, incredible. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, probably one of the better conferences I've been to from that respect.
Yeah,
So, do you know what car we're in today?
I'm not a car whiz. I know some electric cars. I'm a Tesla fan, so not very familiar with sports cars. But it looks really cool.
Thanks. We are in an Italian-made Lamborghini, and it's actually a very special Lamborghini. So the model is Huracan, but there's a special model called the Performante, and then we're also in a Spider, which is a convertible. So we are in the Huracan Performante Spider, and it's essentially a track car, but it's road legal. It's as close as you could get to like an actual race car without 5-point harness and roll cage.
Wow.
So it's loud, and it's fun, and it's fast, and we'll experience a little bit today. Yeah.
How fast are we going to be able to go?
Well, the state of Utah limits us to 100. So
you can go up to 100 here? Miles per hour?
Not legally. You got all excited. No, so we can't.
Can we just like move to do this in Germany where there's no speed limit?
Oh, we got to do one on the Autobahn.
When we go to the Bremen conference, we should do this
there,
because then there's no speed limits. That makes more sense. Hey, we got to redo this in Bremen.
Or just part two.
Part two, okay.
Part two. Agreed. So, who is Negar? Give me your background. Take it how you want it, but give us a little history.
Sure. I'm a lover of the space industry. I've been in it for over 20 years. I even studied it in college. So I went to Cal Poly for undergrad, studying aerospace engineering, where the whole CubeSat trend originated. And then I went to Stanford for grad school, again, aerospace engineering.
Yeah. So you're using your degree.
Yeah.
Unlike me, you're using your degree.
Yeah, to a certain extent. I mean, the current role I'm playing right now, I don't do that much technical work anymore, but it really helps to understand and have all the background. And when somebody talks to me, I can understand exactly what they're saying. And so I'm like, wait, what does that mean? So yeah, that's the origin. And then I worked for Lockheed for a couple of years on testing geocommunication satellites in their assembly, integration, and test facility. So,
so I'll pause. Geocommunication. Geo meaning geosynchronous orbit.
Yeah.
So satellites in geosynchronous orbit doing comms.
Yeah, so think satellites that were built for like DirecTV, SiriusXM, all the big geocommunication satellite companies. That those were our customers. And then I moved after 2 years there to work, and I used to run like TVAC facilities there and do everything from integrating the solar arrays. We're going through the TVAC cell, vibe,
thermal
heater.
vacuum chamber. For those, no, it's okay. Thermal vacuum chamber for those not aware of a TVAC.
Sorry, I use a lot of acronyms. I will try to be better.
Just give us the once, and then you can keep using the acronyms.
Okay. And then
because my mom watches this and she won't know what a TVAC is, so we gotta. Hey, Mom, it's a thermal vacuum chamber.
Oh, okay, let me simplify it. We were the assembly, integration, and test facility at Lockheed that I worked at, which was one of the early jobs straight out of college I got, was really cool because I got to take a satellite and put it through all the different environments it would experience when it goes on a rocket, from the loud noise, the acoustic testing, to the vacuum of space, through thermal vacuum, vibe and shock, which are basically vibration and shock, to experience like all of that you would experience in a rocket, and do life cycle testing, which means, okay, what's going to happen when it faces the sun, when it doesn't face the sun, when it goes through extreme temperature environments. And we did all of that and then some. So that was great learning for
Also,
me.
great explanation. That I wish everyone could do that so well. That was a great job.
Thank you. I was like, once you told me your mom watches the show, I'm like, okay, well, let me explain why.
We gotta keep it at that level. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. So I did that, and then after a couple years of that, I decided, okay, I need to, and I also worked in the research and development lab there in Palo Alto. And when I was working there, we were doing a lot of hardcore analysis and stuff, and I decided, okay, I'm working with a bunch of PhDs, I gotta go get my master's too. So I went and started working, doing my master's part-time in Stanford, and I decided to move to work for Maxar, which at that time was called Space Systems L'Oreal.
So hold that thought. We're gonna have a little fun.
Oh my God! Holy moly!
There's some traffic.
Traffic! Oh!
There we go.
I'm getting excited, and then we had to stop. Yeah.
Rush hour traffic.
And my brother drifts too. So
oh, he does. We had a little bit of a drift there. He kicked it out.
Yeah, he's like, and he drifts like both gas cars and electric ones. So I got some experience doing this.
Oh, yeah. So that was enjoyable.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
Good. All right.
I like fast cars. I like the acceleration on electric cars. That's why I drive electric cars. But anyway, where were we?
No, that, promise you, it happens all the time. What was I saying?
What was I doing?
I just lost my track.
No, it's all good. And then just boring stuff, Then I went to Maxar, and that was cool because they were like, it was like working for a family there. I liked it. I was like, oh, I'll work for this Space Systems L'Oreal for a couple years, and then I'll go work somewhere else.
I went to interrupt, I went to Maxar's HQ in Colorado. And the building is a really unique building.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
That? Yeah. You walk in and there's like this big dish looking thing.
The building itself is a giant satellite dish, like a glass dish, that's I don't know, 3 stories across. And I asked the question, I said, did you guys build this? Because you're, satellite antenna. It was originally for another satellite company or communication company. And I was like, wow, you were just meant to be in this building. So it was a really cool building.
Yeah. So that was originally the Digital Globe building. I visited there, and it's really cool. So the building that I was working at was in Palo Alto, where they built all of the big communication satellites for customers like SiriusXM, DirecTV, customers that are trying to provide you internet to remote areas, etc.
Yeah.
Similar to, well, I guess you kind of know that. I don't need to explain that further. But I decided to go over there because I'd heard that it was a really cool vibe, and I was kind of burning out of Lockheed. It was rough there, and I was working they had this like program where it was called like 410, where you work 4 days a week, 10 hours a day.
Oh, like a nurse shift kind of thing.
Yeah. Except it was 710. We worked 10 hours.
Except 710.
It was on paper you only worked 4 days a week. In practicality, you worked 7 days a week.
Oh man.
10 hours a day minimum. And I was like, okay, I can't go to grad school and work this kind of shifts. So I was like, it was a great experience. I loved it. I learned a ton. And then I'm like, if I'm going to go to school part-time, I need an easier job. So then I went to work for Space Systems Morale, which is now called Maxar. And they were really great. I worked there for a lot of different groups, from people that did systems engineering and mass properties to the solar array department. And then
we got to chat solar arrays. So I'd love to learn offline what you did with that. Yeah,
I was there for 7 years in the solar array department, doing everything from product management, program management, development of new solar panels. We were looking at rollout solar array panels, like the ones like ROSA and others, and we were also looking at just the simple composite sandwich panels. I was trying to develop new low-cost composite panels that we could, lay cells down on and stuff like that. So that was really fun.
Well, if you ever need a career change, come give me a call. You sound very educated on solar arrays.
Thank you. That was a fun job. I did that for a while. And then, we looked at everything from new cell technologies to new panel technologies to vendors that could integrate them. I used to go to Japan a ton. That was really fun. I would, fly to. We worked with Mitsubishi Electric and NEC, Toshiba, that did the cell lay down. And, whenever there was a problem, I had to go spend weeks in Japan. Oh, woe to me. It was so hard to eat sushi every day.
Oh, man.
It was rough life.
Speaking of rough life, we have a beautiful view. That's a rock quarry on the right, but there's some mountains straight ahead. I like downtown Salt Lake. It's so beautiful.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, sushi in Japan on a work trip. Sounds good.
Yeah, it was nice. It was fun. And then I got recruited out of that team to work in their front end of the business. They did this like competition. It was called, and I don't know how much you want me to talk about my background and my career, because I spent the whole half an hour
about you.
Okay. And
we do want to get to Orbital Outpost X.
Yeah. So,
soon to be, we'll release the name in a second.
So they had this competition to figure out, okay, well, now that the geocom market is dying, how can we diversify into other things? So I put in a plug for, services, like a services business line, and I won the competition. So I was handed a whole division.
Oh, wow.
It was like a services division that we called Strategic Ventures, and that was really fun. I ran that, and that brought me into the front end of business.
At Maxar?
At Maxar. Okay. So then I was like directly reporting into the CTO's group and trying to figure out, okay, how do we diversify from geocomms? Do we focus on small sats? Do we focus on services? We started selling like composite panels and optical benches and whatnot to everybody who needed it. And, just because we had all this manufacturing capability and test facilities and stuff that weren't being fully utilized, we started making some immediate additional revenues on, producing things for other people and renting out facilities to people. So I got to do that for a while. And then they're like, oh, well, why don't you come help, build our small sat group out? So we did that. And that's what got me into the new space business.
New space business.
And that's how I shifted over. So I was 15 years in old space, and now I'm in new space for this part of my career.
So what was after Maxar?
So, and while I was, trying to build out the small sat division, I ran into the founders of Momentus.
You have quite the resume.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And when I met the founder of Momentus, he was telling me about this new water-based propulsion system that he was building and how he wanted to build a sustainable ecosystem in space that could enable in-space resource utilization. ISRU basically means that you can mine water off of the moon, refuel your propulsion system, and go deeper and deeper into the solar system. And I'm like, wow, that sounds really cool. Let's go do that.
Yeah.
So I left Maxar, and I joined him like a year later, and we pivoted that business to, okay, no, we're not going to sell these propulsion systems to anything, but we're going to build an orbital transfer vehicle. And when we started Momentus, that whole business line and that whole type of service didn't even exist. Like
OTV, orbital transfer vehicle?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what that is for the layman is like a last mile logistics vehicle that basically is something that can take you from where the rocket would drop you off to anywhere in space, be it Mars, Moon, another orbit, wherever you want to go. So we were trying to build out that business model.
Ironically, call it last mile delivery. It's a lot more than a mile.
Yeah, but you know,
you get the metaphor.
You get the metaphor.
Yeah.
So I helped run. I was the 5th employee at Momentus. Joined them pre-seed, helped them all the way through going public in 4 years, which was a crazy ride. I was VP of product and business development there. That's what I started. And then when we exited and went public is when I decided I didn't want to work for a public company. So I left Momentus and did consulting for a year. So I could talk about consulting and that transition. That was really interesting. Worked for a lot of cool companies like Venturi Astrolab that builds rovers.
Yeah.
You know, Venturi Astrolab is building race cars for the moon. It's really cool. And I got to drive that rover around.
You did?
Yeah, that was super fun. And I worked for Quantum Space and Celestial and a bunch of other startups.
You worked at Celestial?
Yeah, very, very short.
Oh, cool. We're friends with them.
Yeah. They're a very cool company too. So I did consulting for a lot of different groups, and then I met the Orbital Outpost team, and they're like, "Hey, Negar, would you come join us?" And I'm like, "Sure." I was like, I heard about what they were doing, and I'm like, "That sounds really cool." And it kind of, you know, one of my core beliefs is in sustainability, and I like it both here on Earth and space. And I believe in order to make everything here on Earth more sustainable, you have to go to space and utilize the resources in space. We're going to eventually run out of things here, and it's going to cause world wars and havoc. And I feel like we have to be a multi-planetary species to survive in the long run. So I'm like, okay, well, looking at how you're trying to make humanity multi-planetary and aligns with my vision of sustainability in space, let's go. And we pivoted Orbital Outpost from building space stations to building the picks and shovels for the gold rush to space. And what that means is, you know, we were trying to build modular space stations. In the process of doing that, we realized, there's no common standardized interface that would transfer power, data, fluids, you know, be able to handle rendezvous, proximity ops, and docking and all of that in one device. And we can't connect all these modules together, and we need to use a bunch of different interfaces. So it was very expensive. So we developed a Squid, which can allow you to do these.
I'm ducking because the roof's a little low and I'm trying to see the green light. We'll take a pause here because the Raging Bull, as they call the Lamborghini, needs refueling. So we'll be back in a second.
So we're going to do the sustainable thing and refuel the vehicle instead of throw it away. Like we do in space.
It's reusable.
Yeah, can you guys imagine? In space, we throw everything away.
It's not very fuel efficient, but I like to say it's smiles per gallon is really the rating here.
Well, if you compare a Lamborghini to a satellite, it's more sustainable.
I guess so. You're right. That'll be a quote. Lamborghini, you're more sustainable than a satellite. I love it. And we're back. And let's talk a little bit about Orbital Outpost X. You told me there's your new branding coming out.
Yes. So, sneak preview, we are going to change our name from Orbital Outpost X to Space Dock.
Space Dock.
Yeah.
Because you were, I guess we were talking, you were working on space stations, but now you're doing something a little different?
Yeah, so we basically we're rebranding to kind of align with the pivot that our company did away from, building platforms like space stations to being more of a picks and shovels for the gold rush to space strategy. And Space Dock just aligns better with where we're going forward with the company. And we basically looked at all the technologies that we had developed for the space station and decided that the Squid, our, you can call it a Space Dock or a Secure Quick Universal Interface device.
Squid for short, which I love.
Yeah.
It goes right along with like Otter Pup from Starfish. And
yeah, it goes along with that. That device was something that our customers could really use, and it could really help, make space more plug and play. So that's where we've focused the company on, and we're going to do our first flight of the first Squid in 2026 in the first quarter with a couple of customers.
So explain to me like an ideal customer and use case that you can help someone with.
Sure. So I'll talk about the first flight that we're doing with one of our customers.
Congrats.
Thank you.
When's the launch?
It's T16 and T17. So
okay.
we're looking
Transporter
at both.
For those unknown.
Oh,
Transporter 16 and 17.
Yeah. So we are going to be flying on a SpaceX Falcon 9 reusable rocket that basically does ride sharing. So think of it like a bus with a lot of different seats on it, except not for people, but for cargo, like FedEx or something. And we're going to be taking up one of those slots. So our customer is flying a satellite on that slot. And on their satellite, they host a lot of different payloads. So we are providing the interface between their satellite bus and the various payloads that want to fly on it. And one of our customers is a payload customer that wants to fly with them called Melogen Labs, and they basically do radiation shielding. So they're building radiation shielding material that you could use as a drop-in replacement for aluminum. So they've connected their experiment to one side of our Squid. Yeah! Sorry for the interruption.
No, we're good. We love on-ramps around here.
Enjoying the acceleration. And then the other side connects to the platform, so you can easily, the value prop is you can easily plug and play payloads onto this. So once the platform is incorporated, one of our Squids into it, you can swap out payloads, just like you connect whatever you want to your satellite, to your computer that has a USB-C.
Yeah.
Just like that. That's simple. And we can transfer power and data, and with different use cases, we can even transfer fluids, optical comms, RF, whatever the customer needs.
So you can do refueling?
Eventually, we're going to be doing refueling. Yeah, we have government customers interested in using it for refueling anything from hydrazine to xenon to even I have customers that want to do cryogenics. So we're going to be doing demos of all these different things. Not on the first one, but yeah.
Can you say who the customer is on the first flight?
So the customer is a stealth startup that hasn't gone public with the type of satellite platform they're building, so that's why I can't.
So no. Yeah.
I need their permission to tell you.
Yeah, gotcha.
Otherwise, I would have announced it, but...
Our industry is really weird. Like, everybody, you can't say what you're doing. It's under NDA, blah, blah, blah. It's like, come on. We're going to space. I get it, but
they're building really awesome satellite platforms that are super modular, so they really love our concept of enabling them to easily hot swap out last minute, add payloads onto their platform.
Yeah.
Because it happens all the time in our industry where, you book a flight, you have a platform, customers come on, and then they don't make it. Like, I experienced that a lot in previous companies that I worked for, where somebody says they're going to make it, I don't know, they run a thermal vacuum test, like the TVAC test I was talking, or something breaks and they don't make it. And then that launch vehicle, that Falcon is still going. It's a bus, it has a route, it's going to go, it's not going to wait for you, and so is the satellite. So they end up flying a lot of mass models, which are basically like flying a brick in place of your payload.
Right.
So I think with this solution, the value prop you bring to the platform provider is they don't have to do that, and they can still generate revenue by swapping that payload out for another one very easily without having to change anything on their platform. And vice versa, same value prop for the payload customers, because now they can fly their payload on any platform they want, develop their payload agnostic of the platform for as long as they want, and then marry themselves up with that. And we're also going to be doing some matchmaking between the payloads and the platforms in the process.
Well, I don't know if you're fundraising or not, but if investors are listening, you should give her a call. Anything more to say about Orbital X, or are you ready to jump into Sci-Fi Corner?
Now we get to drop into Sci-Fi Corner.
Sci-Fi Corner. All right.
Orbital Outpost X, formerly known as Orbital Outpost X, now Space Dock.
Space Dock. I like it.
Do you like the name?
I do. It makes sense for like what you're doing. It's like plug and play. You're docking, and that's like a big part of the value add. So
yeah, we're trying to make it so, like, just like when you were at the gas station, you didn't have to think about, will I be able to plug this into my car? Oh, guess what? It's not that simple in space.
I gotta ask, because I'm friends with Dan over at Orbit Fab. Is that like you guys can collaborate, or is it like a competitive kind of situation? Or
no, I'm happy to collaborate with him. So we can incorporate his Rafty refueling interface into our interface too.
Give her a call, Dan.
I've talked to Dan.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We're about to air his episode.
Really?
He was with me at Space Symposium.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, so no, I'm happy to work with all people. So if people have specific docking technologies they want to incorporate, like I want to be an enabler. No qualms with any of my competitors, and we need more.
A rising tide raises all satellites. Right. Oh, no, wait. A rising tide raises all orbits.
We need more universal adoption of these kind of things, so that you can, in the future, go to a gas station and not have to worry if it's going to be compatible or not. We're not trying to lock people in. Like, our whole ethos is no vendor lock. We're agnostic to what use case you want to use this for. We're just trying to make smart interfaces that have sensors embedded, monitoring everything that's going on, and software and a whole SaaS model and AI in the back end to allow for predictive analytics, maintenance, and all that kind of stuff. So ours is more of a software play. The hardware is just a necessity that our whole ecosystem needs. And then I think this whole matchmaking between the payloads and the buses and the space stations and all that is another real pain point for everybody. I've personally experienced the pain on both ends, so I want to help with that too.
Good. Well, we need more of that. Well, before we jump into Science Corner, I had a question. So you're with Momentus. Did you ever get to interact with Commander Chris Hadfield?
Yes.
Because he's on the board, right?
Oh, I loved working with him. Yeah, he came to our parties. He would play.
Did he play guitar for you?
Yeah, he's awesome. He came and shared his book with us. I have a signed copy of his book.
Yeah.
He was one of our board members and very active. And he's a big proponent of the new space economy. He was also, I didn't mention Space Ride. I worked for Space Ride for 4 months, and he was an advisor to Space Ride as well, a Canadian company.
So I bring it up, he's on my advisory board.
Really?
Yeah, he came on about 2 months ago.
He's
incredible. He has bonded with my 5-year-old. And so the first time Ryder met him, I said, "Hey buddy, you get to meet a real astronaut." So he met him and he was like kind of upset. And I was like,
"What?
Ryder, what's wrong, bud?"
And
he was like, "He's not in his astronaut suit." And I said, "Ryder, he doesn't wear that everywhere." he thought he was gonna, show up in his astronaut suit. But yeah, he's awesome. He's been to our house. He played guitar for us and sang for like 2.5 hours. He's awesome. So shout out to Commander Hadfield. He's one of the best.
He's awesome. A very visionary, and grateful for being able to know him. And
glad we have that in common. Yeah.
He's awesome. So you're lucky.
Yes. So much. He's done a lot just in the 2 months he's been on board. So right before we hopped in the car, we were talking about your future. What industry should spacify first? And you had some really convicting responses. So maybe elaborate on that and like what you want to see, the future of space look like.
Yeah. So as going back to some of my core ethos and stuff about sustainability, I think we should take all the industries that basically rely on limited supply materials, like the oil and gas industry, the energy industry, that relies on coal, and all these things that we have limited resources of here on Earth, to space. And I think that will ultimately make life here on Earth more sustainable and safe, because we won't have wars over oil and water and
resources,
coal and all the resources that we have.
Which drives most wars. It's just natural resources. So
I think that the mining industries, the industries that generate energy, like space-based solar and all those type of verticals, should be the first ones to go. And we're seeing a lot of traction in that already in the industry. You're seeing a lot of the European Union and UK put a lot of money and grants into space-based solar. And with, if you look at data centers and they're like mad intense use of power, they're just going to be, in order to service them, we're going to have to burn more and more coal, and that's not sustainable in the long run. So we need other sources of energy to satisfy our ever demanding need for energy. And I think that space-based solar and other nuclear-based power plants in space and other things like that make total sense. And that's what I'm hoping to see more of go to space. And as you're seeing the trend, thanks to reusable rockets that SpaceX and other companies are developing like Blue Origin, the cost of access will keep on going down by orders of magnitude, enabling us to close these things. I mean, I studied space-based solar in college, and the business case just wouldn't close at that time. It was too expensive to do it. But fast forward to where we are today, where the cost of access has dropped 200x, these type of things can close. So that's what I'm hoping spacifies first, both from a humanitarian standpoint and from a needs standpoint. And it just makes sense. And there's a lot of startups working on it. Some in stealth mode, some more public about it. Yeah. And I'm really excited because I actually worked with the Caltech lab on some space-based solar experiments when I was in Momentus.
Dr. Pellegrino?
Yeah.
Pellegrino.
And so we worked with him when we were, one of the first payloads that we hosted on Vigoride at Momentus was something like
cool.
that. So I was very excited and proud of that, and just making progress on that, because they had a $100 million grant actually from a philanthropist who wants to see space-based solar happen. So we were able to work with them. But those are some of the industries I think need to go to space. And in the long run, every industry we have here on Earth will be in space, because we will be a multi-planetary species. There's no doubt in my mind that we're going to get there. It's just a question of when.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I think we said the comment earlier, every company is a space company, they just don't know it yet.
Yeah. I love that quote. Yeah, I've heard it a few times. And I think that's where we have to go. And in that regard, to everybody listening, you don't have to have an aerospace degree to work in this industry.
I'm the poster child for that.
I think people are sometimes afraid. They're like, oh, it's such a cool industry, we want to work on it, but we didn't study aerospace engineering. I'm just here to tell you, you don't have to have that background to do it. I've hired plenty of people who have no space expertise whatsoever.
We need lawyers, insurance people, marketing, all the stuff.
We need everything. And you don't have to have been an engineer. You don't have to have studied space. Like, you can learn a lot of these things on the job. And some of the best people I worked with don't even have any of these kind of degrees to begin with. So.
Yeah, maybe I'll dust off my real estate license and go sell something on the moon.
You know, one of the concepts we had at Orbital Outpost X was to build timeshares in space on our station and sell those to people.
There you go.
That was the business model. You know, and we might do that in the future.
Yeah.
But literally, like, all these hotels, these convention centers. Oh, you know what's my one of the things that I can't wait to see in space is there's a company called Space Game Federation that wants to do like gaming in space, not like video gaming, but like sports in space.
Oh yeah.
And all kinds of, like, imagine like Ender's Game and like all those, you know, crazy type of games that you see people do that require zero gravity.
Well, the UFC reached out to Gravitics because they want to do an MMA fight in orbit.
Nice.
Like a pay-per-view MMA fight in orbit.
I
don't know how some of the moves are going to work, but it would definitely be, I'd pay to watch that pay-per-view. So there's going to be some really wild and interesting things that happen in the very near future, like 5 years.
I can't wait to see all these new use cases. I mean, I've heard about people doing like really high-end culinary experiences on orbit, but I personally am a big fan of the sports because I think you could do so much. And one of the things with the Space Game Federation, plug for Linda there, is it's actually more leveling. So you wouldn't have to have like a women's league and a men's league in it because
it's not as physical.
No,
it's more intelligence. And
it's more
sorry guys, I think they might beat us on that one.
So I can't wait to see.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
That would be really interesting to watch and participate in general. So Yeah, like, we have a lot of different entertainment that you can do here on Earth, but I think it's going to be a whole different level in space.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait. I can't wait to see it happen. I can't wait for all of us to go. And hopefully the next podcast will be in space.
Oh, that would be fun.
While we're floating around.
I'm not sure if there's a wreck right in front of us or not, but I'll ask my next favorite question. Hopefully you have a juicy answer for us. Have you or anyone you know seen any sort of extraterrestrial activity or something odd that you would describe as alien, or do you currently have a probe inside you right now?
How do you know I'm not an alien?
Oh, sorry. Are you an alien? I should have led with that, obviously.
Why do you think I'm saying humanity needs to be multi-planetary?
Yeah, you're viewing us from the outside. Yeah.
How do you know that?
Are you an alien? What galaxy are you from?
Well, sometimes when I talk to people, they think I am. They're like, where are you coming from? And, to answer your question, no, I have not seen any extraterrestrials. I would love to. I've been to a lot of these desert locations that claim that they're there. I can't say that I've seen it. I've seen things flying around.
That looked a little weird.
Yeah. But I oftentimes will go and look in the charts and be like, oh, well, that was a rocket, or that was a satellite, or that was
I've spoken to a few pilots.
Things that come back from space that are deorbiting. First-hand
story of pilots saying really odd things.
Really?
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think we've been visited. What do you think? They may be here. I mean, are you here? Sorry. Are there more of you here?
I can't tell you.
Oh, okay. That's the secret alien code. Got it. So, if you were human, what technology from science fiction would you pull forward today? And don't say some sort of propulsion or travel, because that's everybody's answer.
Mind reading.
Oh, that's a sci-fi thing? I feel like some people already do that here. But ESP kind of prevalent capability?
I think that would be really cool to be able to...
Cool and scary at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at some...
it would ruin all poker games. You could never play poker again.
That's true.
Yeah. Unless you were the only one, and then you'd be the best at poker.
I love playing poker. I play poker with a bunch of startups and investors and stuff all the time. And I think it'd be really cool if you had that stealth weapon of I can read your mind and nobody else knows about it.
Yeah, that'd be so good. I wish I could have that when I ask my wife where she wants to go to dinner. Just simple things in life. So, what do you want to go to dinner? I don't know. What do you want?
I got to ask that question back to you. What would you want?
Ooh, the teleportation, the transportation thing's really cool. I would want to do some sort of life extension, meaning I could transfer my consciousness into something that would outlive my physical human body, because I want to stick around and see what happens. So if I could be, some sort of cyborg type thing, as long as my wife would do it with me, I would want to continue living and see what kind of cool tech we come up with. And yeah, I want to do some sort of life extension.
That's really cool. Yeah, I'd have to think about this question a little more.
I read the Bobaverse, if you've heard of that book series.
No.
If you're a science fiction fan, obviously. Yeah. So you name dropped Ender's Game, which I love. I've read all 10 books. And I'm not a big reader, so that says a lot. Bobaverse is super cool.
Bobaverse. Okay.
My COO turned me on to that. 5 books, I could not put them down.
Really?
Amazing. Oh. It was about life extension. Oh, no spoiler alerts, but the book opens up with this really rich guy, cryo freezes his brain, becomes this AI computer that can replicate itself through von Neumann probes, and explores the galaxy. It's pretty neat.
That sounds really cool. And now I think about it, I think being able to hop into someone else's body would be really interesting.
Oh. I think like Freaky Friday.
If you could do that, imagine how much more considerate people would be if they could put themselves in other people's shoes.
Yeah.
That would be really cool too. But I don't know. I have a lot of things I'd want to.
I have a couple of wrap-up questions.
Sure.
Yeah. So you are a car person to a degree. You like the Teslas. You like speed. You know what drifting is. How fast have you been in a land vehicle?
In Germany,
Oh, the Autobahn.
we were going 100 and I think that was in kilometers. I'm trying to do
If it's 100 kilometers, that's not,
No,
not
no.
very fast.
No, it was like 185. Was it 185? I don't remember the speed, actually.
That'd be
it was basically going all the way to the top of a BMW. Speed dial.
So you were moving.
You were moving. I just don't remember what the number was.
Yeah.
And it was something in kilometers, and I don't remember what it was.
That's all right.
It was like a little Mini Cooper. It wasn't like a big sports car, but
It was fun. Exhilarating.
It was exhilarating to be on the Autobahn and drive as fast as we wanted.
So if you had a blank check, what vehicle would you get? And this vehicle could be anything from ocean to orbit. Cars, planes, trains, boats, airplanes, rockets.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a car. It wouldn't be a car. It would be probably a hovercraft.
Oh, that's a new one.
It was so cool. When I went to Boca Chica to watch the third Starship launch, they have hovercrafts there. They have 2 of them. And they use the hovercrafts to transport. It's like a shuttle service for their employees from one side of the plant to the other so that they don't have to sit in the traffic going on the bridge. And they can they have a shuttle service that's a hover.
Oh, that is cool.
And I was like, what? And so we were there at the station with all the employees, and I got to get a really cool tour, and I loved the hovercraft. It was like drifting on steroids.
Oh, yeah.
It was like...
You're doing nothing but drifting the whole time.
And it was like this shallow waters, and it was the coolest experience.
Thanks for being on. The last question. Any guests that you would recommend for future episodes that would enjoy a moving podcast studio?
A lot.
A lot. Okay.
I have a lot of
You can
friends.
send me the email list.
I think they would all love it. Have you ever met Philip Hoover Smoot?
I did on an airplane flight. Scout CEO.
Scout Space,
yeah. We were shared an airplane flight back. I met him on an airplane flight. I think it was from Smallsat last year.
Yeah, he lives in the Bay Area with me. We worked together at Momentus, actually. He was, when I was the VP of Product Business Development, he was our general counsel. And now he's the CEO of Scout Space.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching. This has been another episode of Full Burn. We'll catch you next time. Bye.